What's happening, Wargamers? Welcome to the Meditations for Star Wars Shatterpoint Battle Reports from Aegis Brand Studios. And you know what? Some games just be like that.
Some games be like that.
It was an Empire victory. You made the right plays. You went in the right place. Those friggin' Dark Troopers, man, I wish they would show up for me one of these games.
Oh my goodness, they did phenomenal.
Like, the Dark Troopers just never show for me.
They have 2 damage on them, and that was when their hatred made them powerful.
Yeah. Well, because, like, I put in 4 attacks them, and I just blanked down on all of them. Which was just
one attack got to go through, and it was a damage and a shove, and I protection the damage.
Yeah, and then it's just my dice. The big thing that happened to me here is like I spent at least 6, maybe up to 8 force in this game, and it did not convert to anything worthwhile in this game at all. Which was, that's just backbreaking when that happens, right?
Yeah.
Like what can you do about that? The bounty hunters and the covert mandos normally they perform a lot better for me. In this game, they did not.
Yeah. Kind of awkward activations on the board. The covert mandos kind of went up and expected to tank at least 1 turn of punching, and then the Dark Troopers happened.
It's one of those things where like you got your full tree on so many of your attacks as well.
Yep.
Like you defied so many odds.
I was letting my hatred make me powerful to roll more dice and using Moff Gideon to roll more dice, but even then I shouldn't be getting full tree that often.
No, you were getting so many full tree attacks that it's just like I can't do anything about this. Like even when I would roll well, it's like you still got your full tree. Because I think on the first one against the covert mandos, I think I blocked like 4, and you're still like full tree. Like it was obscene, right? Like, and you did that a couple times in this game.
Yep.
Cad had a fairly decent defense roll against Vader, and you're still like, no, I got enough to take Cad down.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things where like I could not stand up to the aggression that was going on here, and my synergy is there, but it didn't show up at all. Cad was so out of place.
Yeah.
But
he felt a little awkward this game.
But I think that was also by virtue of where the active objectives were.
Yeah, he wasn't really in a space to do something really meaningful, and then when the objective near him turned on, it was danger close to Vader.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like Vader with 2 advances being able to get to where he was, like Cad can't stand up against that. I probably should have been less aggressive and like backed off a little bit here and not been right up to the wall there.
Yeah.
Because at least that way it would have just been a saber throw, not an 11 dice punch in the face attack.
Yeah.
But I didn't think Vader would get that far up, to be honest, but that's on me. That's totally on me right there.
Vader do be doing some crazy things sometimes.
Yep, and to think that Vader has fallen out of the strong competitive meta. Vader won.
I get it. You are doing self-damage, which is a very risky game to be playing, but...
Well, also, we've entered into a shooting game.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
It was something I noticed early on while I had him in reserve. There were so many times when you went up to a point just a little behind the middle, where I was just like, well, Vader can't do anything.
Yeah.
Vader cannot affect this board now.
Vader had 1 activation, and he sat on that point all game, and he scored you so many points.
For sure.
Same with those Dark Troopers. Those Dark Troopers sat on that point all game. And
phenomenal. And no small feat that I drew. We got that last stroll where I was just on all 4. Like, that was a phenomenally lucky start for me.
That is backbreaking when that happens. Like, I looked at him like, I don't think there's anything I can really do to come back from this. Like, I would have needed to somehow take 2 objectives from you to do it. But honestly, it's like, okay, well, the only one who can go over here is Cad. Cad's not taking Vader down in 1.
Yeah.
The Dark Troopers, if I get the right pull, maybe I take the Dark Troopers down, but I'm not feeling too confident about that either. So, like, honestly, it was... I don't know if there was a pull I could have done at the end of that game there. Maybe Boba Fett?
Maybe Boba Fett, because he's got a lot of opportunities to make multiple damaging attacks at the time. And I had a few people who were pretty close to dead near him. Yeah,
like Boba Fett, if he activated, he could have jumped over here, done an attack into Gideon. Like just a 5-die attack, but 5 dice on Boba Fett could do some damage.
Yep.
3 successes is all I would have needed to take him down.
Yeah.
And then, he would have had his knee rockets that he could have done some other stuff, or, he could have
knee rockets can blow up terrain. I've seen that.
Yes, they can. Destroying everything here. but even then, like I don't think there was a lot I could have done pulling that last struggle. Like that was just rough. Like, I don't really know what else to say about that one. That was a rough final struggle for me to get.
Yeah, it was a very backbreaking start.
And it's unfortunate. I was hoping to showcase the bounty hunters a little bit more in here, and the more I play Never Tell Me the Odds, this one favored you a lot.
I think so. Yeah.
Not necessarily because you scored a whole bunch of extra points for it, but the scenario really seemed to work in your favor, and I wasn't able to put the damage through on you where I needed to, which was really kind of unfortunate.
Which allowed me to kind of snowball and get away with. With that, like if I'm one attack up on you and you don't hit me back, now I'm 2 attacks up on you, and
yeah, and it's rough. It's rough, and it happens.
It does happen. I've been on that end.
I mean, Mando still showed up. Mando, I have no complaints with how he did.
Mando did fine.
Well, aside from blanking out against the Dark Troopers,
which is rough.
Which sucked.
Gotta say, rough. But he was also like his looming threat of him advancing or repositioning on a kill was really big. It really impacted my last few decisions in the game.
Although, in all fairness, you had so much going in your favor. That, like, even if Mando came over and took this point, it's like, oh no, you're one shy.
Yeah.
And what do I do? In my turn, I have to like take a bunch of points to score back.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you still just kind of win, right? I'm just actually curious. Who was my next? And my next pull was Cat.
Yeah.
So, yay, Vader! Like, yeah, like that was.
Then I had Vader.
And you had Vader, who just would have like and just turned around on Cad and just punched him to death. Yeah, so it was a rough game. I want to play around with this list a little bit more because I do think there's some good bounty hunter synergy kicking around.
For sure, especially with the new box, you've got a lot of things that you can go for, like Dengar, for example.
I think the covert Mandos might not have been the right play in this particular one.
They were kind of a black sheep in the list. They weren't really doing a lot for you. I don't know who you'd put in there, though.
I don't either. I kind of struggled on who I would put in there myself. I really wanted Han and Chewie, but I mean, at 5 points, unfortunately, it doesn't quite work.
Yeah, the math is hard with 5 points.
I think the other thing that really kind of hit me hard is I wasn't able to get Django into position when I wanted to. He was stuck back here until, like, I think he was my second last activation.
Yeah, Django hung out in the back where he really likes to hang out in the middle.
Yeah.
That was a little unfortunate.
Yeah, like, so Django taking so long to activate and Cad being out of position just really hurt my ability here. And just, like I said, spending all that force and not getting anything converting was just, like, and the other thing, when you punched Mando with Dengar and you didn't roll any fails, like...
Yeah, that was just kind of a pot shot that really wound up not kicking me in the butt at all.
Yeah, like, just, how many dice did you roll? And you rolled no fails
5.
on that. How come it was only 5?
That's just what his shooting is.
Really? It's just 5?
He's 5 and 8.
That's okay. That's surprising there. Like, all right, yeah. And then that was just rough. Like, if I had gotten the magic hand thing on that instance, like, normally
that would have been a big difference.
Would have ended your activation. He would have been wounded. He wouldn't have picked up the point.
It would have meant that I probably would have. Honestly, I may have reserved Moff Gideon going in, or Fifth Brother going into that round because he was pinned and wouldn't have been able to get over to this point.
Yeah. So, yeah, and that also would have been like a momentum in my favor on top of everything. So, yeah, like it's a lot. Well,
it would have been a big change.
The momentum wouldn't have mattered in that case because I think I was already kind of winning that.
Yeah, struggle. You were getting that struggle,
but yeah, it would have.
It also. Yeah.
Yeah, it would have changed some things, I guess. Like, not a lot, but it would have made the final struggle a little bit easier to go into because you wouldn't have had that point.
Yeah, I would have been easily. On 2 points as opposed to all 3.
And I mean, all of a sudden, Django then can get over to that point, take it, and it's not so rough of a start there.
Yeah.
But I mean, games sometimes be like that. So there we go. Alex, well fought win, man, and we will see you guys next time. Happy wargaming.